What's going on, guys? Matthew here. Welcome back to my channel, Brick by Brick. Today I wanted to talk about failure. Failure is the reason why most people don't start a new journey, because they're afraid of failing. They're afraid of what the public might say. What are my parents going to think? Will they believe in me? So many great ideas in this world never get started because the person who had that thought or that idea about a business, about a book, about just anything in life, it's too hard to lose weight. It's too hard to start a business. It's too hard to do whatever it is you're trying to do. It's too hard, and they're afraid of failure. And it's a real fear, right? Failing is a real fear. I'm not trying to sugarcoat that at all. You have to be able to think about failure in a more, not necessarily a positive light, but a different light, right? And one of my children is struggling with, I don't want to fail. Going back into his football season, he was always hesitating and not attacking the football when he was on defense. And I asked him why, and he goes, I don't want to be in the wrong spot. And I said, that's great to think that way, right? You want to be in the right spot. That's fine. But what if you wait too long and then you're not where you're supposed to be? And I had to break it down to him in a different light that made more sense, that failing is okay as long as you use it the right way. And what I mean by that is, think about a baseball player, right? A Hall of Fame baseball player, the best of the best, the greatest that ever stepped foot on a baseball field. In 10 at-bats, the best Hall of Fame players get a hit 3 times. Maybe 3.5 times. Which means that they fail 7 to 6 times in 10 tries. I think that was the greatest lesson that baseball has ever taught me, that failing is okay because you're trying, right? So when I would get out in baseball, strike out, pop fly, whatever, doesn't matter. It gave me data, right? And life is the same way. It gave me data so that way I could correct for the next at bat, right? I don't want to get too technical into baseball, but maybe the pitcher was pitching me on the inside of the plate. I wasn't ready for it. I was looking stuff on the outside of the plate. So now when I go up to my next at bat, I'm going to be hunting that inside pitch because that's what he just got me out on. People are creatures of habit. You just got me out on this pitch. I'm going to go back to it again when I need it. But now I know, because I have more data, that you're going to try to come back to that spot. Life is the same way, right? Let's use business as an example. You start a business. Goes off well for the first few months, and then things are not working the same way that they were before. You're not getting as many sales. You're not seeing as many customers, right? However, it's not working the same. You now have new data that says maybe you need to refresh something. Maybe you need a different marketing strategy. Maybe you need to bring in a consultant, right? The more data you have, the better you can prepare for the next portion of what you need to get ready for, right? Take it for studying, right? You're in a math class. You get a C on a test. You went in and you thought you were prepared. Turns out you didn't study enough. So what do you do for the next test? You put in a couple more hours of studying. Maybe it's different studying, right? Instead of doing just reading the textbook, maybe you need to do practice problems for that math test, right? And then you take the next test. Maybe it's not perfect, but maybe it's better. You gave yourself more data on how to get better. So failure is not the end all be all like most people make it out to be. You have to be able to take failure, learn from it, and not repeat the same mistakes that you just made. Right? I tried to lose weight a couple years ago. I lost some weight, but I fell off the wagon and I put the weight back on because I didn't have the systems in place to keep me on track. Right? Think about the last video when I was talking about goals. A couple years ago when I was trying to lose weight, I had no goals to keep me in line. I was just doing what I thought was right, and then because there was no discipline behind it and no strategy behind it, I ended up putting the weight back on. Now that I'm losing weight again, I have strict goals that I have to hit in order to win that week. Remember, find your wins, right? And by doing that, you take failure and you turn it into your greatest asset. Hey, if I failed at something, that's awesome. First off, you tried. Be proud of the fact that you tried something. And then also take it and learn from the failure. Where did you go wrong? What was the root cause of the failure? Take it, change it, and do it again, right? Stop being so hard on yourself. This is life. You have one life. That's it. One life. That's it. Stop being so hard on yourself and being afraid of failure. Guess what? Everybody fails. Everybody fails at something. Stop being so hard on yourself because you get one shot at life. And don't let failure be the reason why you stop chasing what you want to chase. Take failure and make it your greatest asset so you can get better for the next time you go try to do something, right? Losing weight, studying for a test, starting a business, maybe you're trying to get a job, right? Learn what you did in that first interview that didn't get you the job. How would you have answered this question differently, right? Because all job interviews they're generally the same. Some are job specific, but if you're doing a job interview, most of the questions are basically the same. How can I answer this better? Do I need to practice in the mirror before I go for my next job interview? Try something different. Take failure. I can't say it enough. Take failure and make it your greatest asset. I think I'm just going to leave it there. It's a great line. Probably going to put that on a t-shirt. That's actually freaking awesome. So, take failure. Don't be afraid of it. Make failure your greatest asset. Let me know what you guys think about this topic. Leave me a comment. If you want me to cover anything specific, let me know. Leave a comment. And I'll see you guys in the next video.